Recording. It looks like I see that counter. What's going on, my fellow dudes? It's your boy Hyperstatic46 here, coming at you with something new. For those of you who may or may not know, which is basically all of you, it's basically boils down to either if you care or if you don't. But on February 2nd of this year, the Yu-Gi-Oh ban list for the tournament was just updated, and well, I taken a little look see at the ban list, and I'm gonna pull it up. For those of you who don't know, I'm gonna break down the key stuff for, well, at least stuff that will affect me. Well, for the most part, affect me. Let me pull up the ban list right now. So I got my cell phone here. So let me see here. Yu-Gi-Oh ban list. There we go. Wow. When you know it, it pops it right up. Okay. So let's see what we exactly got here. So there's four categories on how a card is judged in a tournament. There's ban, limited, semi-limited, and unlimited. Ban means it's completely illegal from tournaments. If you show up with it, I guess like you can't compete, or they tell you to take it out of your deck, or something like that happens. Either way, you won't be able to use it. You won't be able to be used in the tournament. Moving on. Limited means meaning you can use it in the tournament, but you can only have one copy of that specific card. No more. If it's any more, it's an illegal deck, and you're out of luck. Now, semi-limited. Going off of limited, semi-limited means as well you can also have a copy of a card. This time you can have only two copies of a card. No, nothing over than that. Plain and simple. Then there's unlimited. Unlimited means it kind of speaks for itself, except, just following still the Yu-Gi-Oh rules. You can't have more than three copies of a card in the deck, whether you're playing tournament rules or if you're just casually playing with friends. You can only have three copies of one card in the deck, so yeah. Well, anyway, let's pull up and see what we got here. So I'm gonna go down how the list is. So we're going from unlimited. We're going from ban, limited, semi-limited, and then unlimited. So let's see what we got here. So again, I'm going over the stuff that mostly affect me. So Chaos Emperor, Dragon, Envoy of the End. That one stands out to me the most because I'm just gonna put that in my. I was gonna put that in the deck I'm making. More on that later. See here. Anything else here so far? Performable monkey board. I think I have that. I think I have that on my performable deck. I'll have to check. So that actually kind of does affect me a little bit. I don't use my performable deck much because it's crappy. I'm gonna say that right now. My performable deck, it's a load of crap. It's not well put together. I had to literally make do with what I had. So that was one of my cards in. I gotta take that out. Doesn't really do that much, but yeah. Let's see here. Wind Up Carrier Zen Mighty. I also have a Wind Up deck. It is still currently in the making, and I never got my hands on a Wind Up Zen Mighty. Affects me, but not that much since I didn't have the card to begin with. Moving on. Ooh, card of safe return. Now that one. More on that one later. Pot of Greed, it's still forbidden. No, Pot of Avarice. Now that one got me because Pot of Avarice this is the first time we've ever seen Pot of Avarice, or at least from what I can remember. First time we've ever seen Pot of Avarice on the ban list, period. Whether it was banned, limited, semi-limited, or unlimited, this is the first time we've ever seen this thing on the ban list. So that kind of caught me by surprise. Of course, self-destruct button is still banned. Why wouldn't it be? Okay, moving on to limited. Let's see here. Of course, the Exodia pieces. Of course, those are always going to be limited for those freaking cringy ass decks. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. I have that in my Buster Blader deck. That's still limited, so it can only have one copy. Let's see here. Ooh, Ether the Heavenly Monarch. I can tell somebody's going to be a little upset. You know who you are, too. If you're watching this video and you know you have a Monarch, then you know who I'm talking about. Book of Moon. Understandable. I'm not even gonna try to front like, hey, Book of Moon ain't that bad. What is it, man? No, it is terrible. Foolish Burial. That actually is a good move. That's a good move. Gateway of the Six, surprisingly, it was banned before, but now it's limited. Let me see here. Oh no. Oh god. I forgot about that one. Well then, this is gonna this is going to be the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament Year of Hell. Oh boy. Not sure whose idea this was. Monster Reborn is limited. Monster Reborn is limited. Fathom that. Think about that for a second. Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is legal in tournaments again. And the reason they took it off before, apparently, the reason for putting it back in overrides that. Oh god. Year of Hell. Raigeki is banned. Oh wait, no, it's not banned. It's limited. Yo, the Pantheism of the Monarchs. Yeah, screw Monarch decks. Yeah, reinforcement of the army. You know, I was thinking about putting that in my Buster Blader deck, but then I realized none of them are level 4s. I mean, other level 4s or belows, except for the Buster Wells, but they're not even warriors, so that doesn't even work with them. So, yeah. A compulsory evacuation device, an upstart goblin. Huh. I have one compulsory, so that's good. An upstart goblin, I've seen that card multiple times, and I can't do much about it. So that one's kind of like out of my hands, I guess. But yeah, bro, they were just like screwing Monarch decks. Monarch Stormforth is limited. Get rid of the Monarchs. Hashtag hashtag no more Monarchs, man. Hashtag no more Monarchs. Let's get that. Let's get that thing going. Wind Up Magician is well. Moving on to the semi-limited. Wind Up Magician is now semi-limited because again I have a Wind Up deck, and at the time when I was making it, Wind Up Magician was currently limited, so I can only have one copy. So then that made me wonder, what was the point of having one copy of him in my deck in the first place if there's always going to be that, you know, that one in a million chance I was gonna draw him. I mean, it's like literally imagine like making a 40 to 50 card deck and there's one card. The chance of you drawing that one card was obviously dangerously low. So then that made me wonder, well then what's the odds of me drawing that other than pulling a card that lets me specifically search for him? And then even then, what's the odds of me actually, you know, bringing him in my hand? Because most of the times when I duel, I pull last minute crisis moves, so that's not a good thing. But now that he's semi limited, it actually kind of helps me a bit. Mathematician. What are we just asking for people to just get raped in duels now? Is that a thing now? Yu-Gi-Oh creators, Kazuki Takahashi, is that what we're doing now? We're just asking for people to say you in a duel. Is that really change strike? They should have kept that banned. They should have stuck that on the ban list and didn't look back. One of my friends I duel has this card. Thank God he only has one copy of this card. They should have put that on the ban list and never taken it off and just. Whoa! Moving on to Unlimited. So now you can have 3 copies of this card. Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. So now let me get into why the whole Blackluster Soldier and Chaos Emperor Dragon thing I mentioned earlier. Because I'm in the middle of making a Blackluster Soldier deck. So far, it's decent. It's not fully complete, but for what it's worth, it's bearable. I can do a lot of crazy stuff with it for the time being until I can get more Blackluster Soldiers. I have 2 Super Soldiers, 3 regular Ritual Blackluster Soldiers, the one from Duel Monsters. I have 1 Envoy of the Beginning, 1 Evening Twilight Night, and I'm trying to think. I think that's everything. But for me to be able to put 3 Envoys of the Beginning in a deck, that is perfect. That's perfect. I can take that to tournaments and just tell everybody to go away. Card Trooper is now unlimited. Even though I don't even use Card Trooper, I know its effect, and now I'm thinking about getting it. But now that I look at this ban list, now I have another problem. Since Envoy at the beginning is now unlimited, his price is gonna skyrocket. It's gonna make it like impossible for me to get him now. And I was counting on at least Chaos Emperor Dragon. I was counting for it to at least be limited. At least if I could have one copy in my Blackluster Soldier deck, that'd be perfect. I wouldn't have a problem with that. Brain control. My God. Whose idea was this? Like, can somebody please, somebody tell me whose idea? Who fixed this ban list? Why does it like immediately gets fixed within like not even halfway through this year? They update it again because they realize how crappy this ban list is, or at least for bringing cards off the ban list, more or less for putting stuff on it. Brain control. That's a not. I can already see the return of past meta decks making their way again. I'm mostly thinking in terms of dual monsters. Monster Reborn, Brain Control. What's next? Are you gonna have like Shard of Greed apparently? Or what? Future Fusion. Never use that, but I hear it's a good card. I might take a look at it. Mind Control. Wait. What's the difference? I'm pretty sure they do the same thing. Oh crap. Ojama Trio. Bottomless Trap Hole. Oh, that's not a problem for me. I can handle that. Torrential Tribute. Now that's a bit of a problem. That is a little bit of a problem. A teeny tiny bit of a problem. But that's it. That's the entire ban list right there. Oh yeah, there also was something else I said I was gonna go back to. Where was it? Oh, I can see Yatagarasu still banned. I don't know why. If anybody can explain to me why Yatagarasu is still banned, or why it was banned in the first place. I do know there was a specific trap card that said if you had Yatagarasu on the field, draw 2 cards, but they don't have that on here. The only time I see that name is when it's banned, and that's just about it. Where was it? Super Poly. Huh. No doubt there. Where was it? Inzectors. They're not. Oh, they have no justice. Inzectors have no justice. Oh, another reoccurring name I've been seeing are Zodiacs. Zodiacs are like legit. Zodiac's pissing. There's not a lot of decks that really piss me off. There's 5 decks in this world that piss me off above everything else. And I'm going to list them right now. So not only is this a look at the ban list, this is also my top 5 worst decks. Well, top 5 decks that piss me off. So starting at the number 5 spot, we have Monarchs. Well, if there's one thing that all 3 of my decks, except, my Buster Blader and Dark Magician decks, there's one thing they both have in common. They rely strongly on the extra deck. If you don't know what Monarch decks do, basically they shut down the extra deck for both sides. So neither side can use extra deck. Dark Magicians and Buster Bladers. For one thing, for the combos. Buster Bladers, if you really want to shut your opponent down, you need Buster Dragon to turn your opponent's side of the field, all monsters to your opponent's side of the field into dragons. Then you need Buster Blader, the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman, to negate all Dragon type monsters' effect on your opponent's side. Switch every Dragon type monster your opponent controls into defense, and whenever he attacks a Dragon type defense position monster, it inflicts piercing. So think about that for a second. Buster Blader, the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman, is a fusion monster. Buster Dragon is a synchro monster. Summon both of those from the extra deck. If Monarchs shut that down, I can't do anything. It's like an impossibility. I will literally have Buster Blader and any other Buster Wub I summon get shut down. Number 4 spot. Well, actually, I guess I should also get into Dark Magicians. Dark Magicians will. I won't have to do that much from the extra deck, not unless I really just want to be a complete fag and just mess my opponent up. But in a bind, extra deck alone. Extra deck aside, it makes a lot of cards in my deck completely worthless in a duel. If it shuts down my extra deck, I can't use cards like Polymerization, and I definitely can't use my Eye of Timaeus. I have 2 Polys, 2 Eye of Timaeus. So out of my 59 card deck, 4 cards in that deck is useless. That's extra space that's taken up that I can't use. And then when you take that in consideration for draw power, because there's to a certain degree where the draw power comes in, because with cards like what is it called? Oh, with cards like Dark Magical Circle, or what is it? Cards like Magician's Rod. Those cards help me bring Dark Magician Spell or Trap cards from my deck to my hand. But now I have, like I said, I have a bunch of dead weight. And Polymerization isn't taking into consideration because it doesn't have Dark Magician specifically listed in the card text or in the name. However, Eye of Timaeus does. Now, when taken into effect, I can't bring those cards to my hand. I can't bring cards to help me special summon from my extra deck, and I can't bring any cards to like really strengthen extra deck sort of monsters, I guess you could say. I mean, if it shuts down my extra deck, that's it. That's it. All right. Number 4. Whoa. Number 4. Elemental heroes can suck a dong. And yes, I said that, and I'll say it again. Elemental heroes can suck a dong because, first off, Neos, Rainbow Neos, they can suck a fast one. They can suck a fat one. And if you don't know what Rainbow Neos does, you need to look that up. I mean, thinking about it again, because I'm going from bad to worse. Thinking about Rainbow Neos. Okay, moving on. I'm getting sidetracked. Number 3. Tunes. And I'm making it's funny. I hate. You know what? Yeah. I might as well. I hate tunes, but I'm making a tune deck. It's sort of a backwards thing. I hate tunes when they're used against me, but I love them when they're working for me. Yeah, it's that sort of thing. Tunes, I mean, they won't be able to. Ooh, it's weird because none of my decks, except for my Dark Magician and Buster Blader, maybe Dark Magicians, not that much. My Buster Blader deck can sort of handle tunes no problem because of that Buster Dragon Destroyer combo. Other than that, I'm at a loss. Tune monsters, for those of you who don't know, there's 2 specific special cards. There's Toon Kingdom and then there's Toon World. Toon Kingdom, once it's on the field, its name becomes Toon World. Toon World pays 1,000 of your life points to activate it, and then it's on the field. It's a continuous spell card. Basically, what both of those do, for Toon monsters, every time they attack, instead of having to attack a monster, if Toon World is on the field, then they can just attack your opponent directly, regardless of how many monsters they have on the field, regardless of how strong those monsters are, and regardless of what those monsters' attack points are. So yeah. So let me give you a general duel. So let's say if I have Red Eyes Toon Dragon on the field with Toon World or Toon Kingdom, mind you, Toon Kingdom's name becomes Toon World when on the field. And let's say you have, after one turn, you have an Egyptian God card. See, Obelisk, Ra, Slifer. Remember, after one turn, because the second they're summoned, effects on the field other than theirs are negated. So, after one turn, the effects kick in again. So, let's say you have a Slifer, or each of these monsters. We'll do the Obelisk to Tormentor method. We'll give them each 4,000 attack, just as a base sort of thing. So let's say you have a Slifer or a Ra or Obelisk, 4,000 attack, and I have a Red Eyes Toon Dragon, 2,400 attack. Now, normally, I would have to attack Obelisk, which would result in my monster being destroyed, or if I'm not stupid, I would just end my turn, and then my monster would get destroyed, and I wouldn't have anything to do. But because of Toon World or Toon Kingdom, because again it becomes Toon World, I can bypass Obelisk, bypass Ra, bypass Slifer, and just go for your life points directly. And there's nothing you can do about it unless you can get rid of Toon World or Toon Kingdom. Toon World's going to be easier because there's nothing to protect it. But Toon Kingdom has another effect where you can just banish one card to stop it from being destroyed. Good luck. Number 2. Oh boy. I specifically hate Divine Dragon Lord Felgrand decks. I'm not sure if that's the specific name for the deck archetype. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys hear that. Not sure if that's the exact name for that deck's archetype, but basically, well, I have a friend. Well, Yugioh man, he has a freaking Divine Dragon Lord Felgrand deck, and it pisses me off sometimes because, I mean, you can tell a good deck if it can combo off of each other and build off of whatever you activate or whatever you send to the grave. That's how you make a good deck. First off, let me get that out of the way. He is basically he's like a damn near expert deck builder. One thing that me and him have in common, if we're bored, we'll just edit our decks. Like me, if I'm really bored, I did this to my Dark Magician deck the other day, which is why it's as good as it is now. Because I was bored one day, and I took it apart 5 times and put it back 5 times. But each time it was something different. Let's say I had like a magic formula or like a magician's rod, magician's robe, or something like that for that would strengthen Dark Magician. Well, every time I took it apart, let's say I may have left out magician's rod or left out magic formula, and then I put it back together again, excluding those cards, played it again, took it apart, broke it apart, put it back, tested it out again, something there. Every time I took it apart, I made it a different. So, which is why the deck is now updated to the way it is now, or at least to fit the ban list format now. But yeah, he's in Yu-Gi-Oh! Man. He's like a damn near expert deck builder. He's really good. He's really good, and he did this. Well, he may not have taken it apart 5 times like I did, but he certainly did take it apart, edit it, look at it, put it back, and then tested it out against me. And it mind you, he tested it out against my Buster Bladers, and it demolished me. He was first off, he had Divine Dragon. He was able to use Divine Dragon Lord Felgrand to banish either Buster Blader from off my field or banish him from my grave. The only way I could negate that, however, is if I had a D-Sword Flash in my grave. I only have 3 of those in the deck, and it's unless I use Buster Whelp to bring it into my hand, it's pretty hard to draw because my draw luck is not that good. I am unlucky when it comes to drawing the cards I need, unless I have like I guess I have like a Yugi armor or something like that. Unless I'm in like within the last 2,500 life points, I'm not gonna draw the cards I need per se. I might draw the cards I might want just at least if I want to bluff my opponent out, which I do a lot. But I'm not going to draw the cards I need. It's kind of like goes to the whole Yu-Gi-Oh! GX thing. There's a difference between playing a card and activating a card. I think something. Basically, it's saying there's a difference between just placing a card down and just knowing how to use it. Oh yeah, that was the difference. There's a difference between knowing how to use a card and playing a card. It's kind of like one of that sort of situation. But he shut me down. He destroyed any of my Buster Whelps that were tuners. He was able to keep me from getting Buster Blader out for majority of the duel. I basically ended up forfeiting. That was how bad it was. That's how bad he demolished me. You know it's bad when you build a deck made for a specific type, and that specific type wrecks you. Buster Bladers were meant to counter dragons specifically. He's not called the Buster Blader Dragon Destroyer Swordsman or Buster Blader the Destruction Swordmaster for nothing. He was perfectly made to counter dragons. And the fact that a dragon deck specifically demolished it, that was a destroyer right there. No pun intended. But now we get to Number one, I don't want this. I don't want this to get caught in the wrap. That is me. I hate melodious divas. I really do. Melodious divas can go fuck themselves. That's right. When used correctly, those things can properly stop my Dark Magicians and my Buster Bladers. I haven't tested it out on my Blackluster Soldier deck. I have to find the same person that dueled me, which is it's not gonna be easy to find. You don't go to the card shop or the tournament place I go to all the time. Hell, I don't even go all the time. But this, I can't. I like when I think about this deck, it still boggles me how I let it happen. I literally got cocky and overconfident, and because of that, I lost. So to be fair, it's half my fault, but at the same time, the fact that they shut down a deck that shouldn't be able to be shut down is amazing. First off, there are two cards in a Buster Blader deck that protects any sort of Destruction Sword or Buster Blader. And that's Robot Buster Destruction Sword and Wizard Buster Destruction Sword. When Robot Buster Destruction Sword is equipped to Buster Blader, it basically stops your opponent's it basically stops all opponent's spell and trap cards that are currently on the field, and their effects are negated until it leaves the field. Wizard Buster Destruction Sword, when it's equipped to Buster Blader, stops opponent's monster effects in grave from activating their effects. So I'm safe for those two things. But then I forgot about the monsters on the field. And then again, if Buster Blader leaves the field, or if you watch my dueling lesson on equip monsters, I did make the statement that, once the monster leaves the field that has equipped cards to it, those equipped cards go to grave as well. So the second I try to use Buster Blader for a fusion summon or a synchro summon, those supports go away. And there's no protection. Which means Buster Dragon and the Dragon Destroyer are all left out in the open, unprotected, for anyone to do just about anything. Don't take that out of context. But basically, it's screwed regardless. And that right there was what stopped me. Because I didn't have... Well, at the time when I was dueling, I wasn't able to get D-Sword Flash in my hand or Engrave, so I couldn't stop Dragon Destroyer from being targeted. And there's no Buster Blader support cards that keep Buster Dragon safe from effects or attacks unless I have Following or Dragon Shield. Well, more or less Dragon Shield, because Following only stops it from being destroyed by card effects and being destroyed by battle. But being affected, period, by card effects is a way different story. So, when it happens, I got my Dragon Destroyer got Fiendish Chained, and my Buster Dragon ended up getting hit with... I'm trying to remember, what the heck was that spell card? It was like... No, it wasn't a spell, it was a trap. I was getting ready to say Raigeki, but it was a Raigeki Break. Basically what happens when Raigeki Break is activated, discard one card, destroy a monster on the field, and my Buster Dragon was screwed. Left my Dragon Destroyer out in the open, had no buffs for his attack, stuck at 2800, it was a done deal. And afterwards, I couldn't really summon anything, to at least not anything to protect me. If anything, I would literally have delayed the inevitable. So, then I tried my Dark Magicians, and I'm thinking, in my head, I'm like, well, okay, my Dark Magicians are going to have a much better attack, a much better chance, because Eternal Soul protects my Dark Magicians from being affected, period, so no Fiendish Chain can hit my Dark Magicians, and if they ever wanted to target my Eternal Soul, I have Magician's Right Hand, which stops my opponent's first card effects, and then I also have Secret Village and Spellcasters, which stops my opponent from activating any spell effects unless they control a spellcaster. But then I remembered, they could always just negate either one. And the thing is, they negated my secret village, so now my spell card. Well, at least now they could activate spells. And I'm gonna let you guys guess. Think about any Yu-Gi-Oh card they could use to. Well, any Yu-Gi-Oh spell card that is used to destroy spell or trap cards. I'm gonna give you a guess. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds. Ready? Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. If you're thinking MST, you're freaking right. The MST, my Eternal Soul, and Eternal Soul's effect is when it destroys all my monsters on the field. It is basically a clean sweep. And that's what happened. Clean sweep. My Dark Magician, my Ebon Illusion Magician, my Amulet Dragon, kaput. And I had nothing else. Unless you want to try to fight a monster that has 3,000 attack with a magician's robe that has 600 attack. Yeah, good luck to you, my good sir. Good luck to you, my good ma'am. Good luck to anyone, whatever your orientation is. However, times have changed. So I might stand a little bit more of a chance, especially with my Blackluster soldiers. I just need certain more Blackluster soldier cards. More specifically, Sacred Soldier. I got my eyes set on a Sacred Soldier for a low price. I might invest in that soon. Maybe. But anyway, enough of that. Oh yeah, okay, we're on like 31 minutes. Okay. Well, about to be 32. Is that 32? Oh yes, it's about to be 32. So I guess I should probably end the video off here. So yeah, that's the ban list. Those are my top 5 most hated decks. So thank you all so much for watching. As always, please Chaos control that like button as hard as you can. Subscribe today to join the Chaos Army. And if you have any sort of card suggestions, deck suggestions, or any sort of like duel challenges, hit me up on Duel Book, hit me up on Dueling Nexus, or in fact, comment me or send an email. I don't know, look at my Twitter. I don't know. Send me a message or anything. Hey, I'm good. I'm always up for a duel. So yeah, like I said, as always, I'm Hyper 46. Keep a lookout for 7 Chaos Emeralds. Chaos control that like button. Subscribe to enjoy the Chaos Army. As always, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Stay beautiful, stay frosty. Have a nice day.